Imagine this. You pick up what looks like just another iPad, sleek, thin, familiar. But the moment you power it on, you realize this is something different. The screen almost melts into the edges. The performance feels more like a desktop than a tablet, and suddenly, you're not just holding a device, you're holding Apple's next leap forward. Today we're diving into the iPad Pro M5, the leaks, the rumors, the whispers from Apple's supply chain. And trust me, the story here is far bigger than just another chip upgrade. If you thought the M4 iPad Pro was the peak, you might want to sit down because what's coming next could completely redefine the iPad as we know it. Stick with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what's real, what's hype, and what Apple might be secretly planning for October 2025. Let's start with the question everyone wants answered. When is this thing actually coming out? Rumors from multiple sources suggest an October 2025 launch window. Apple's suppliers, including Samsung and LG, have already started mass production of the OLED displays designed specifically for this iPad. That's not speculation. That's happening right now. And get this, the M5 chip itself reportedly entered mass production back in February 2025. So, by all accounts, the hardware is ready. The only question is whether Apple sticks to its usual fall release or pushes into early 2026 if supply hiccups appear. But here's where it gets interesting. Apple knows the iPad Pro M4 was already a massive jump forward. So why release the M5 so quickly? Why now? The star of the show is, of course, the M5 chip. Most people hear new chip and think it's just a little faster, a little better. But the M5 is not just about speed. It's about positioning Apple for the AI future. Reports suggest it's built on a refined 3-nanometer process, not the still-delayed 2-nanometer tech. That means efficiency is going up, thermals are dropping, and performance per watt is climbing. Expect a massive boost to the neural engine. Why does that matter? Because Apple is betting big on Apple Intelligence, on-device AI that makes your iPad feel like it's thinking with you. Imagine smarter note-taking, real-time translations, voice-driven editing, or generative art and design right on your tablet with zero cloud lag. That's where the M5 matters. Some leaks even suggest 16 GB of base RAM, which would put the iPad Pro closer to a MacBook Pro than ever before. Think about that. A tablet running pro apps, editing 4K video, crunching machine learning tasks, all while sipping battery. That's not evolution. That's revolution. Now let's talk about cameras, because here's a rumor that actually surprised me. Apple might finally give the iPad Pro not one, but two front-facing cameras, one on the portrait side and one on the landscape edge. Why? Because iPads are awkward. Sometimes you're in portrait, sometimes you're typing with a keyboard in landscape, and FaceTime calls always feel slightly off. Apple seems to know this, and the dual camera setup could be the solution. That would mean Face ID and video calls look natural in any orientation. No more weird angles. No more shifting the device to line up with the camera. This is about usability, not just specs. And the rear camera? Probably the same 12-megapixel shooter with LiDAR. Because let's be honest, people don't buy iPad Pros to shoot movies. They use them for creative work, scanning, and AR experiences. Apple knows where to focus. Will the iPad Pro M5 look dramatically different from the M4? Probably not. Apple has a pattern. Keep the outer shell steady for a generation or two, then introduce a bold refresh. But there are whispers. Some leakers on Weibo claim the bezels are shrinking, dramatically. We're talking almost all screen, edge to edge, with a screen-to-body ratio that rivals modern smartphones. If that happens, the iPad could finally feel like a true futuristic slab of glass, thin, immersive, no wasted space. But here's the catch. Other analysts say this may not arrive until the M6 generation. So for now, think incremental tweaks, slightly slimmer bezels, maybe a lighter body, maybe an Apple logo that finally orients for landscape use, something many iPad owners have wanted for years. Let's not forget connectivity. The M5 iPad Pro is rumored to support Wi-Fi 7. That's next-gen wireless speed and reliability, perfect for creative professionals transferring massive files or gamers streaming cloud titles. Thunderbolt 4 is likely to stay, giving you pro-level external drive and monitor support. Pair that with iPad OS advancements, and suddenly the iPad Pro edges even closer to being a true laptop replacement. Will it get satellite connectivity like the iPhone? Unlikely, but not impossible. Apple has been expanding satellite features, so don't count it out completely. Here's where things get really fascinating. The M4 iPad Pro was only released in May 2024. If Apple launches the M5 in late 2025, that's barely a year-and-a-half gap. Why the rush? Two reasons: competition and AI. On the competition side, Samsung, Microsoft, and others are pushing hybrid devices harder than ever. Samsung's Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra is rumored to bring desktop-class AI integration. Microsoft is betting everything on Copilot PCs. Apple cannot afford for the iPad Pro to look like it's falling behind. On the AI side, the timing makes sense. iOS 19 and iPadOS 19 will be deeply integrated with Apple Intelligence, and the M5 chip looks like it was designed specifically to power that shift. Apple isn't just making a faster tablet, it's making a smarter one. All right, let's talk price, the part nobody likes. Apple already pushed prices up with the OLED iPad Pro M4. So, will the M5 be even more expensive? The safe bet is that prices hold steady, around $999 to $1,299 for the 11-inch model, and $1,299 to $1,799 for the 13-inch. But if Apple adds dual cameras, thinner bezels, and Wi-Fi 7, don't be surprised if the top-end model creeps even higher. Remember, Apple rarely moves backward on pricing, and with Pro devices, they know their audience is willing to pay. Now, let's separate fact from fiction. What's real? OLED displays are in production. The M5 chip is in production. The October 2025 launch window is highly likely. Wi-Fi 7 support is expected. What's possible but unconfirmed? Dual front cameras, slimmer bezels, a landscape Apple logo. What's probably hype? A 2nm chip process this year, a fully all-screen design with zero bezels, and major rear camera upgrades. Always remember, Apple moves in deliberate steps. They rarely give away everything at once. So here's the big question. Is the iPad Pro M5 worth waiting for? If you own the M4, the jump may not feel revolutionary, unless AI is a must-have for you. But if you're coming from an older iPad Pro, the M5 could be the ultimate upgrade. It's thinner, smarter, faster, and more future-proof. It's not just about watching movies or sketching on Procreate anymore. It's about creating, working, and living in ways that blend the laptop and tablet world seamlessly. And if the rumors are true, if Apple really is pushing AI integration as far as they say, then the iPad Pro M5 isn't just another step forward. It's the beginning of a brand new chapter in Apple's story. So, what do you think? Are you ready for the iPad Pro M5? Or do you believe Apple should slow down and let the M4 breathe a little longer? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive useful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more Apple news, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Because if the rumors are true, October is going to be one wild month for Apple fans.